been with my husband for almost 20 years, but about 3 years ago, I was strongly considering divorce, and I want to talk to you about why. So I'm going to tell you the story of the day where I thought to myself, maybe I don't want to do this anymore. My husband and I had 4 kids. We both worked full time. We had been together for 16 years at this point. We've been together since high school. And on paper, I have an amazing husband. He is incredibly supportive. He's kind. He's loyal. He's a great dad. He's very hands-on. He's an active participant. He's always present. Like on paper, what else could I ask for? But in reality, my experience is very similar to the experience of other women. I had this amazing husband who on paper was great, but I was incredibly frustrated and burnt out from our marriage and from motherhood. Because what happens to so many of us is that we marry these amazing men and we have amazing relationships and then we have kids. And when we have kids, women tend to carry a disproportionate amount of the work in the home, the work of raising kids, and the mental load. And that is exactly what happened to us. About 3 months after my 4th baby was born, I remember looking at my husband and saying, I need more. I need you to do more. I am exhausted. I am in charge of everyone and everything in this house. Every night when we cook dinner, you ask me what to make. Every day when you drop off the kids at daycare, you ask me what they need in their backpacks. I am the project manager of this home and I need you to do more. And he looked at me and he said, okay, just tell me what to do. Right? Every woman has heard this. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. And I said, okay, something that would make my life easier is if in the mornings when I came downstairs with the 4 kids, because I do mornings by myself, the dishwasher was emptied, the dishes were put away, and the trash was taken out. That would make my life so much easier because when I've got the 4 kids running around and the baby crying, I can't be looking for their favorite water bottle in the dishwasher. I just need to know it's clean. And he said, yeah, of course. What? Yeah, I'll do that. That's no problem. And so, of course, he does it. But then I have to remind him, and then he forgets, and then I have to remind him again. And there was this one morning where I woke up, and I went to put something in the trash and it was overflowing. And I went to get my son's water bottle and it was in the dishwasher with all the other clean dishes. And I felt so disrespected and unseen and unvalued at that point in time. And I remember texting my husband being like, what happened? Like, why didn't you do this? And he said, sorry, I was running late for work. And I remember thinking, oh my God, he doesn't see me because what he's done has now made me late for work. And he doesn't care about that. He doesn't care about the impact on me. And he doesn't see how every single thing in our home happens because I ask him to do it, or because I do it myself, or because I planned and organized it. The diaper bag is full because I filled it, right? I put the wipes in there. And I felt so frustrated. And I remember thinking, what's the point? What's the point of doing this with someone else? I might as well just do it alone. And it's not because my husband didn't love me or he did anything to me. And it's not because I didn't love him, but because I felt so taken advantage of in our relationship. And this dynamic, it doesn't happen by accident, right? It's not like my husband did it to me, but we've been raised in this society that tells men and women who they should be in marriages and what it looks like to be a good mom versus a good dad. And we know the bar for moms is way up here and the bar for dads is way down here. And we fell into these norms. We fell into these roles in our family, despite the fact that we never wanted to. And I'm lucky, and I say lucky because I have a partner who I know loves me and wants me to be happy and was willing and able to change. And so we did the work to figure out what equity looked like in our relationship. And I can tell you now, 3 years later, that we are happier than ever. Our kids are thriving. Our home runs like a well-oiled machine. And that took a lot of work. I want to say it took like 18 months to get there. And it was well worth it. But it is not uncommon. And so if your wife is coming to you and she's saying, I'm burnt out by the mental load and I need you to do more, she's not just saying that because she wants you to do more chores. She's saying that because truly it can hurt your relationship. It can ruin your marriage if you do not participate in an equitable way in your home. And so what does that look like? What does it look like to change these dynamics? Well, we need to really assess in our homes what the work looks like. Because in most homes, the data supports this, women do a disproportionate amount of the work. They just do. They do more of the cooking and the cleaning and the laundry and the childcare while also working full time. And men have more time for things like their hobbies, like golf, for example, or just working out, running a marathon, right? And so we need to have hard conversations about what our time looks like, what our labor in the home looks like, what is invisible labor. We have to talk about these things. And when we don't, the alternative is that you no longer have a marriage, or you don't have a happy one at least. And so I share this story because I don't think I'm alone in this experience, and I want people to know that there's hope and that if you have a willing and able partner, you can change this. You can absolutely change this dynamic. I've been with my husband for almost 20 years, but about 3 years.
So, ladies, help me understand here, right? Let's just make a scenario, right? Okay, so let's just say there's two women. So the first woman is a single mother with three kids. She pays all her bills. She do the cleaning, all the house chores, the laundry, the cooking every day, right? That's her life every day until the kids are like older, right? To be independent and do things for themselves. Now, and then there's a second woman. So the second woman is married, has two kids. She does everything. She cooks, she cleans, she goes to work, but she doesn't pay all the bills, right? Obviously, she has somebody to, help her with like finance, right? Let's just say she's paying 30% of the bills and the husband is paying 70% of the bills. And she's cooking and cleaning for three people, just like the single mother. What's the difference between these two people, right? Can the single mother complain and say, look, I'm doing everything by myself without no help? I need help. I need somebody who can, maybe I need my kids to help me. Like I need my, let's just say she has a 14-year-old. She needs her 14-year-old to clean and cook and and do everything and do some of the things, right? And help her mom out, right? Let's just say she wants that. Is it okay for her to say that to a child, right? Or is it only okay for the woman who's married with two kids and a husband, right? With two kids and a husband to tell the husband that, look, I need help. I need you to help me with this and this and this and that, right? Is it okay? Like, because I mean they're both taking care of three people. They're both taking care of three people. So the workload is equal, right? And I don't think the problem is the husband not doing the house chores, right? I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is the wife not wanting to do things for the husband, not wanting to take care of her husband, not wanting, because what I hear from what she's saying is she's burnt out from the work, from doing all the work by herself, right? She's burnt out, she's tired, she might as well do it alone. She even said it out of her mouth, bro. You know what I mean? She said she might as well do it herself. She might as well just be a single mother, meaning that being a single mother will be better. It will be better if like she's doing everything, not doing it for her husband. So meaning that the husband is useless if the husband is not doing the house chores. Paying the bills is bare minimum, right? I believe that, ladies, right? um if you really don't care much about a man, just don't get married to him, right? Because what happens if that man sits on the wheelchair? You see, now you won't be able to be the woman for him. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the reason why we become partners. We become partners because if somebody is like down, I'm able to pick you up. You know what I mean? Instead of fighting you, instead of trying to train you into the perfect husband that I want you to be, right? Because of the perfect wife that I want you to be. Because right now, what we're looking at is this woman is complaining about, doing all the work and the husband is not helping. That's what she's complaining about. She's complaining that the husband is not helping, meaning that it's not the problem, is not the work. The problem is the husband. Because if the work was the problem, then um she would have like they would have made a plan, bro. They both working, right? They both working. They would have gotten a maid. You know what I mean? Like they would pay a maid. They will sacrifice some of the things and pay a maid and get a maid and split the cost. But because the problem is the husband, it's her taking care of her husband. And and if you don't care about a man that much, you shouldn't get married, ladies. You know what I mean? Just keep it pushing with your life, bro. You understand? If you know that you don't have that in you, like you don't want to take care of people, you hate taking care of people, you only love your kids enough to cook and clean for them, not for your husband. But anyway, that's it for today. My name is RJ Godfella, and this is the RJ Godfella Chats. Now, if you like this type of content, please hit the subscribe button and hit the like button as well. Peace, I'm out.